Well,
following the previous discussions that we have had on the program?
Well, so far, so good. No matter how small it is, a progress is a progress. And then for as long as we are not retrogressing, for as long as we are progressing, we will always try to appreciate the progress. Even if it is small, at least it is better. They said half bread is better than none. If considering the last, our previous discussion on security, national security development, the challenges, prospects, problems, way out, possible solutions, and things like that, and then the incessant, continuous killing and destructions of lives and property of innocent Nigerian citizens, and then the role of the security agencies, most especially the armed forces, to be precise, and then the issue of service chiefs. We have clamored for the removal of service chiefs in the last 2.5 or 3 years. Luckily enough, the president heeded to the call, removed the service chiefs, and as they are getting prepared to launch action, and then come the death of General Tahiru, which really devastated and hit the armed forces because it came sudden and unexpected. The man was full of life, he was willing, he was ready to work, and then it happens the way it happens. Is the will of God, nobody can change that. And then the subsequent reappointment of the present Chief of Army Staff, and then we have also seen how he has come. He was a theater commander himself. He was brought from the theater command, and then it was out of his commitment and then zeal and will to work. That was why even the Atari himself appointed him as the theater commander. So he knew his capacity. He believed he has the capacity to handle the challenges of Boko Haram. That was why even the late Atari appointed him. So since he can appoint him and to that strategic position, I guess that was why the president also find it deemed to appoint him as the Chief of Army Staff. And I can tell you that the man is willing, the man is ready. He's not high-headed, he's humble, he's simple, but very aggressive and very principles, in terms of work. He recognizes performance, he recognizes work, he recognizes willingness and determination of the soldiers. He has brought some new innovation into the Nigerian army, to be precise. Once he recognizes your performance, he promotes you automatically there and then, and that is a morale booster. It is by the way boosting the morale of the troops in the field, and then everyone now is gearing up, willing to do something good that will make him also get that rapid and automatic promotion. So he is in a way coming with a tactics and method that is gingering the troops up, that is making them feel that they have a chief and they want to work, they want to impress their chief, they want to impress the country. They are looking at, once they do something that is right and good, they will get compensated immediately for it. The best you can do for a military personnel is to get him promoted, because once you promote him, you have elevated him by all standard in terms of salary, in terms of welfare. You have elevated his family, you have elevated everything about him. So that is what the present Chief of Army Staff is doing, and as he's doing that, he's really gearing them up. So if you look at it from that angle, it is an improvement. Also, if you look at it from the theater command, also the fight against insurgency, you will also agree with me that the Boko Harams are almost like silent these days. You don't even really hear much about them. And also now that he has come, and along with the Chief of Air Staff, the Chief of Naval Staff, and of course their boss, the Chief of Defense Staff, who is, we call him a martial planner, that knows how to plan, and he's carrying them along as they are working as a team in synergy, in cooperation, in understanding, believing in the country, and believing in delivering on the mandate given to them by the president, and of course by the Nigerian citizens. I think the fight against insurgency has been brought down to its knees. It is now kneeling down and begging. Then looking at the other security challenges, that is within northern Nigeria. And then if you go to the other part of the country, you have the secessionist agitations where a lot of killings and destructions is also going on, and as well as the alleged Fulani headers farmer clashes, and then alleged Fulani and Igbos or Yorubas clashes, and as well as even the alleged Fulani Hausa Fulani clashes and things like that. And this generally looking at the security situation, I think there is an improvement apart from the issue of these kidnappers that has changed dimension entirely, and that is really hitting most especially northern Nigeria. Even in the other part of the country, the kidnapping is going on, but it's not as pronounced as it is in the northern part of the country today. So summing it up all together, I would say that I think there's an improvement in the fight against insurgency, in the fight against security challenges in the country within the circle of the armed forces and other sister security organizations.
Okay, so that sounds that yeah, an improvement from what you have said. I was going to ask you, like someone that has been watching what is happening and seen so many actors in the fight against this insecurity that we are seeing, what has changed in the way that the situation is handled, if at all anything has changed?
Well, what has changed is, you see, like I have always advocated, and many others do almost same advocacy, change in approach, change in plans, change in the act itself, as well as change in even the weaponry that are being used to fight these guys. So that is the actual problem there. And then, but then the change is that now, just days ago, there's a delivery of the 2 Super Tucanos by the Air Force, which the Chief of Defense Staff and the Chief of the Minister of Defense received via the Chief of Air Staff. So that is the delivery of a fighting equipment, and also from the that is from the Air Force, and from the Army also. A lot of manufacturing is going on where you manufacture light weapons, if you want to call them light weapons, the AK-47, AK-49, and then the ammunitions and things like that. But that is not just enough. You need more sophisticated than those ones, because the same guys you are fighting are carrying the same kind of weapons. So you needed to carry one that are more sophisticated than the ones they are carrying, most especially looking at the present trend, and then their readiness, that is the readiness of the hoodlums themselves to fight. So it is really not a good one. It is heart touching. On a daily basis they are getting these weapons, and you begin to wonder where they are getting. So the changes, as you ask if there is any change, yes, there is change in approach. If you look at the way the members of the armed forces and other security agencies are now approaching these security challenges, it differs from the way it used to be in the past. The coming of the new service chiefs really brought a lot of transformation in terms of fight against insurgency and general insecurity in Nigeria. And I think recently, you see, the Chief of Defense Staff is going around discussing with senior officers, retired senior officers of the armed forces, trying to get their view on how best they think the fight against insurgency can be achieved.
I think that is good, sharing.
Yes, so sharing ideas, trying to get knowledge. He has accepted that he and the members of the 7 personnel alone cannot do it, so he needed to carry some people along to be able to succeed in the fight against insecurity.
Okay.
And that is a good one. Unless and until a strategy like they are strategizing, and they had to do it as fast as lightning to be able to tackle these guys and then bring them to their knees. Otherwise, believe me, in the next 3, 4, 5 years, if this will continue, God forbid, it's going to be very, very bad. But I believe they are not going to allow it to continue. They are going to hit it down, and then I'm sure they are doing the needful as we speak.
Okay, that's everybody's hope that
Yes,
something will really be done to bring this an end to this cycle of violence. So, Doctor, at what point do we declare this a war on the country and tackle it as a war?
Well, as it is already, I think it has been declared as a war already. Check it. You will not believe it, but I will tell you that in almost 30 states of Nigeria today, we are having one security challenge or the other. And then you find the military almost everywhere. You find other security agencies almost everywhere trying to fight the same security challenge and insurgency, as well as other vices of crisis here and there. So Nigeria, the members of the armed forces, to be precise, and security agencies are already at war. The country is not at war officially, But for the members of the security agencies, they are already at war with insecurity, they are at war with insurgency, they are at war with bandits, they are at war with kidnappers. So if you have different aspect of wars that is taking place within or with the members of the security agencies, the armed forces and other sister agencies, then we're already at war. It is just that we are not at war in a kind of say a conventional war where you find a tribe fighting a tribe or a civil war or something, but we're already, the members of the armed forces are already at war with insecurity in Nigeria. So they are already fighting war. So we're already there. But then, like I said, with the way things are going, I hope and pray that there's going to be change in a short while from now. There's going to be an adjustment. Something good will come up as it is, since the strategy and re-strategizing. Like I said, the CDS is already going around discussing with retired military officers, trying to get their opinion. I am suggesting to him it is not only about the retired military officers. He should get everybody on board. He should get everybody involved. If he really want to get it, he shouldn't just assume that maybe just because an officer is the one that have the knowledge on how to fight it. He could be so surprised that the person he least expect have an idea, will give him an idea of how to get out of this present situation. I'm also aware that before the death of Atahiru, he was planning to engage, or rather to also go around, discuss this issue of insecurity with retired military personnel generally before his death. And like I said, I'm aware that that is also on course as I speak with you. They are trying, the present service chief is reactivating that thing, and is going to go around to begin to discuss with people to find out how best they think this wars can be fought and how best it can be achieved. So I am seeing there's light at the end of the tunnel. It's just that Nigerians need to be a little bit patient. I know it's not easy to be patient with a situation where life and property is being destroyed, but we are already in it already. There's nothing we can do. We just have to be patient and be prayerful, both for the country's survival and also for the victory for our members for the troops of the armed forces and other sister security agencies to have victory over these security challenges that we're having. We need to pray for them, we need to support them, we need to advise them, we need to give them credible intelligence where necessary if we truly want to achieve this. And it is not their responsibility alone. Security is everybody's responsibility, so everybody must be involved. All hands must be on deck if we really want to succeed.
Okay, that's just it. All hands must be on deck. So, Doctor, we'll take a short break. After that, we'll continue with the discussion.
Thank you.
We'll continue after the break. Stay with us.
Successful political change must begin to improve people's daily lives. That is the democracy dividend Nigerians have waited for. But no one should expect that all the damage done over a generation can be undone in a year. Real change demands perseverance and patience. It demands openness to honorable compromise and cooperation. It demands support on a constant basis from the people of Nigeria and from your friends abroad. That does not mean being patient with corruption or injustice, but to give up hope because change comes slowly would only be to hand a victory to those who do not want to change at all. Remember something we Americans have learned in over 220